Good evening and welcome to the SVG-TV News for Monday, September 23rd, 2024. I'm Rochelle Batiste with the details. More than 300 local fishermen will receive comprehensive training in at least 4 different areas as part of the Unleashing the Blue Economy of the Caribbean, the UBEC Food Insecurity Project. The Safety at Sea training commenced today at the Fisheries Conference Room, aimed at enhancing participants' knowledge and preparedness to tackle challenges faced at sea. Jennifer Cruikshank-Howard, Chief Fisheries Officer with the Ministry of Fisheries, stated that the sessions will involve fishermen from across St. Vincent and the Grenadines at various locations.
This training is to provide the fishermen with skills to improve their ability to be able to navigate their fishing vessels in the event of a disaster at sea and reducing their risk in case of accidents while carrying out their livelihood activities. These training sessions will be held at several fishing communities throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm asking all of the participants to take advantage of this opportunity and learn as much as you can so that you will be better equipped and knowledgeable of how to protect yourself in your working environment. This is at sea.
Interim Project Officer with the World Bank's UBEC Food Insecurity Project, Roxanne John, expressed hope that the training will not only enhance fishermen's skills, but also increase their awareness of coping with dangers at sea.
When you leave this training, it is a short training. It will take away your time, yes, but it will be of your utmost benefit. Not just to you alone, but to the citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because we know when you're out there at sea, you have all the requisite knowledge, training, and the certification in your hand that you're applying your trade in the best possible way. And whatever you have obtained, I'm sure you will pass it on to your generation, your children and your grandchildren, that they too will come to be able to be an expert in what they will be doing.
The Windward Islands Research and Education Foundation, WINDRIF, will facilitate the 3-month training program. Executive Director Trevor Noel announced that they are prepared to engage at least 140 fishermen for the Safety at Sea training.
Certification training seminars that Minister made reference of before are for 140 fishers to be trained in Safety at Sea. So Safety at Sea is the first one we're doing. 75 persons in fish processing, 100 people in fish aggregation devices, techniques, and 100 in what's called onboard handling. All the members of the fishing community, because this is about you and the transfer of the knowledge, yes? WINDRIF has an experienced and competent team for the implementation of this project, led by former fisheries officer and fisheries technologist Roland Baldeo. As we open on this program, it opens our minds to different possibilities. The transfer of information from south to south, from one Caribbean country to another Caribbean country. The integration of it, the importance of it.
In addition to safety training, fishermen will also participate in programs focused on seafood processing and handling, onboard fish handling, and drop-line fad fishing techniques. Upon completion of the training, all fishermen will receive certification from WINDRIF. And President of the National Fisherfolk Organization, WSB Harry, expressed his satisfaction with the ongoing training for fishermen, particularly regarding safety at sea. Having experienced several mishaps himself, Harry is committed to ensuring that more fishermen receive this vital training.
Good that the Fisheries Division could have a safety at sea training for all fisher folks across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And today, being a fisher, I'm one of the beneficiaries of this training myself because I'm a fisher, and we have fisher folks from Kingston. And looking at safety at sea, I had about 3 mishaps when I fishing, and this workshop training session could build on what I didn't know and make me learn and gain more, that I can assist other fishers who are not part of this training session.
Harry noted that the that the participants in today's session were primarily from Kingston and Lomans. He emphasized that the certification received upon completion of the training is a key element, as it will encourage more fishermen to pursue their trade with pride.
And as I said, we had about 25 who were slated for this first batch of training. There will be another batch of training that will be done next week, and they will be focusing on from Fisherfolk from Rocha Bay, Cliff Valley to Lay. But it's a very good opportunity. I will use this to encourage the fishers. I know it's, as the minister said, it's a sacrifice to give up the daily operation, because when we do not fish, there is no income. But I think we will be really good for this kind of training, because it's a very certified training. And if you look at CSME, where we have free movement of persons around the region, I think with a certification now, if a fisher can move from St. Vincent and the Grenadines to conduct his fishing operation in a different Caribbean country, this certification could help him to access, to carry out his fishing operation and continue his job within whatever jurisdiction he may go.
Minister of Fisheries Supporter Caesar has expressed concern about the declining fish stocks that are forcing the government to import fish. Speaking at the opening of the Safety at Sea training for fishermen today at the Fisheries conference room, the minister emphasized the need to address this issue, noting that one solution is to source fish from other countries.
I visited the fish market a few days ago, and of the approximately 15 stalls, there were several stalls that did not have fish. And because of that, we have to work with several other governments to see how we can import some fish in the interim. And I am really happy that we were able to put aside some, and I want for Mr. Harry to take a note of this as well, some $4 million from the UBEC program for fisheries.
Minister Caesar highlighted several factors contributing to the low catch, including rising sea temperatures. The minister also indicated that due to these warming conditions, the close season for conchs may not take effect for another 2 years.
Increase in temperatures that we are facing is going to have an impact, and is already having an impact on our catch, our national catch. And I am really happy that we were able to come to a consensus as to what we were doing with the proposed closed conch season. The information has been sent now to the permanent secretary, should be already be on the desk of the chief fisheries officer, that this year we will not have a closed conch season as planned, and that we will relook that proposal in 2026.
In response to the announcement that the government will be importing fish to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, WSB Harry, president of the National Fisherfolk Organization, expressed his disagreement with this development. While he acknowledges that low catch rates have been an ongoing issue, he believes more can be done to support local fishermen in increasing their yields.
A lot of space that we could operate from, so I can't see why we should go and import fish. But if there's a shortage now, if we could fill the gap. But I could say that if we could be more opportunity, give the fisher folks more opportunities, like under the fleet expansion program. Fishers are still looking out to see if they could get bigger fleets, even the fiberglass boat where they could fish more. The other thing I could say too is that if we can encourage our fishers to fish more effective using different technology, because we have to say that if climate change is affecting us, because for me as a fisher, these days when I go out, the sun is very hot, temperature very hot.
Harry added that climate change is indeed impacting fish stocks, a point he agrees on with the Minister of Fisheries. However, he maintains that attracting more individuals to the fishing industry will significantly improve fish catch.
The color of the water, sometimes you see a blue water, sometimes you see a green water, sometimes you see a black water. So right now, with the black water is passing through, even us if we go get the red fish, we are not catching the red fish because I don't know if it's the color of the water is affecting the fish from biting. So, and the current, we have to see as well how we address the current issues. The current are very strong. The current are not coming in too much into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The current are going more away from us, more northeast. If you see the direction of where the storms are going, it's going, coming down and then turning up. So we have to really look at this as across the board. We have to see how we can get the fishers, get more fishers involved, get the fishing community involved, so we will not have to import in any fish. I think we have at least over close to 3,000 registered fishers in different fields, and we have to get them to fish more and with new technology.
In other news now, we hear that Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is in New York attending the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Prime Minister Gonsalves is leading SVG's delegation to the high-level forum, which comprises Minister of Foreign Affairs Frederick Stevenson, Press Officer Cheryl Macmillan, and Security Officer Kendall Horn. Other diplomats are expected to join the Prime Minister's team, including SVG's permanent representative to the United Nations, Her Excellency Ronna King, and other heads of mission and consulars general. Among matters to be discussed at the UN high-level meeting, climate change and its impact on small island developing states, the conflict in Haiti, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and the Ukraine-Russia war. The General Assembly is expected to conclude on Monday, September 30th. In more local news now, we hear that MoneyGram's global network outage continues to impact customers here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and around the world. In a statement issued today, MoneyGram confirmed that it recently identified a cybersecurity issue affecting certain systems. Upon detection, the company launched an investigation and took immediate protective measures, including taking some systems offline, which has affected network connectivity. MoneyGram stated that it is collaborating with leading external cybersecurity experts and coordinating with law enforcement. The company said it recognizes the urgency of the situation for its customers and partners and is working diligently to restore systems and resume normal business operations. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment hosted a health fair and fitness walk on Saturday, September 21st to conclude its celebrations for Caribbean Wellness Day 2024. Caribbean Wellness Day was observed here on September 14 under the theme Power Through Collective Action. Good health is our right. Caribbean Wellness Day is one of the regional responses geared towards increasing awareness and promoting measures among CARICOM member states and their populations to address the epidemic of non-communicable diseases, NCDs, which continue to severely impact the health, economy, and development of the Caribbean region. A health promotions officer with the Ministry of Health shared with SVGTV News the main objective of the health fair, which targeted healthcare workers and their families.
We realize about healthcare workers many times because they're taking care of others, just always on the go. They don't have time a lot of the times to really invest in their own health, to really take stock of what's going on in their bodies. And so we put together this health fair for them to do different health checks and just to relax. So we have the bouncing castle for their kids if they bring their kids along. We have a little refreshment station for them so that they can eat something while they get checked. We have breast checks, so we have mammograms with the breast ultrasounds. We have blood pressure, blood sugar checks, and different activities for the children. Our hydration station, because we're going to go walking later, so as the sun sets and it gets a little cooler, we're going to take a block around town and just come back here for just a cool down. So really and truly, that's what's happening here today. We are looking out for our healthcare workers and their families.
Leisure Beach contestant number 1 in this year's Miss SVG pageant is confident and ready to be crowned. In an interview with SVG-TV News during the meet and greet event last week, the former student of the St. Joseph Convent, Kingstown, shared that she has undergone intense training, especially since this is her first experience in pageantry.
My training would have started before even being accepted as a contestant, just so that I am abreast of everything. As I said, I would have never been in heels. I was always in flats. So the first step would have been to learn how to walk in heels, and as you can see, they're very high heels. So that would have been the first thing, just to make sure that those less girls, I assumed as much less girls with pilot experience who would have also entered or requested to enter. So doing that as well and prepping for talent, I wasn't sure what my talents would have been, but just ironing out a few details, picking out of the bunch what I can do, what I can't do, so I have that down pack. As well as starting interview practice because I would have been extremely closed off beforehand. So just learning how to interact with people, even though it was on a smaller scale, just learning those basic things I think would have given me a bit of a head start into what to expect. But I think going from then to now, there's been a great improvement, and I think now I'm where I think I should be in terms of preparation.
Beach, who has taken on the role of Minister of Health, has engaged people of all ages to educate them about mental health. She believes her Gecko Community Service project was well executed as she was able to make a positive impact on many lives. Knowledge from GCI definitely helped in my community service project because it's basically the same things that we do in GCI. But the theme of my community service project was I am. It was basically an affirmation. It was an empowerment word. The overall basis of it was to teach people about preventative healthcare methods and how you as a person can take care of yourselves. You don't need to go to the hospital if you get sick. That was my main takeaway from it. You don't need to go to the hospital. There's things that you can do at home remedies. It also aimed to teach persons how important it is to take care of your mental health and your overall well-being, because people think about mental health as just being depression. But even if you're just having a bad day, simply, that is your mental health not being 100%. With just 2 weeks to go before pageant night, Beach acknowledged the pressure is on. It's taught me a lot about time management, which is an important takeaway because we have to balance beauty shows, community training, as well as our training and events that we have to go to. So I think it's taught me a lot about time management, but it's been hectic. But I think if you want something, you work hard for it, and I think it's going to be worth it in the end.
Do you feel any pressure that you're contestant number one?
Yes, actually, it's a running joke between us as contestants that if they forget the routine, they have me to look at if they forget it because I'm first. And I basically start the show. I'm the one who gets the crowd active. I'm the one who gets the ball rolling basically. So it is a lot of pressure because I have to ensure that by the time contestant number 6 is on, they still remember contestant number 1. So I think it is a lot of pressure. The 2024 Miss SVG pageant is scheduled for October 5th at the Victoria Park. And now, in its 72 hours weather forecast, the SVG Met Services says the atmosphere is relatively moist, and this will generate occasional cloudy skies across our islands as Monday closes. It says sunny and warm conditions are anticipated tomorrow, Tuesday, September 24th, and that by mid-Wednesday, unstable conditions ahead of a tropical wave should begin to affect the islands, which is expected to influence the weather pattern across St. Vincent and Grenadines up to then. At the end of this forecast period, residents are asked to remain on the alert. The 72 hours forecast further noted that light and general east-southeasterly trades are crossing the islands with a shift to east-northeasterly and a slight increase anticipated from Tuesday. By Thursday, the wind direction is expected to shift to east-southeasterly as the wave axis crosses the islands. Sea conditions are smooth to slight on the eastern coast, ranging from 0.5 to 1.0 meter, and slight to moderate on the eastern coast, peaking near 1.5 meter. No significant Saharan dust haze concentrations are expected during this forecast period.